we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I'm Dr. Peter Glidden, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your steadfast advocate for health, inviting you to join our merry band of men and women all across this country, all across Canada. Quite frankly, it's a worldwide phenomenon now. Join our longevity family of socially conscious, open-minded, progressive people who have seen the light of medical nutrition and are attempting to do the same for their friends, their family, their church members, and their community members. We are involved in a grassroots movement, a grassroots coalition of the informed, spreading our message of health recovery through science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition to as many people as will listen to what we say. Like the fellow said, you don't know what you don't know, and when it comes to your health, the stuff you didn't know is going to heal you or it's going to kill you. And guess what? MD-directed medical therapeutics in the United States are the leading cause of death. The leading cause of death. Lest we overlook the obvious. Don't believe me? Download the 45-page document. It's right there. It's free. I mean, how much free stuff can I give away? My head's going to explode. Go, it's right there on my website. FireYourMDNow.com, right there at the bottom of the page. Download the PDF document. It's a 45-page, well-referenced document. It lines up the numbers. Lines up the numbers for you. The third leading cause of death in the United States, cancer. Second leading cause of death, heart disease. Leading cause of death, MD-directed medical therapeutics to the tune of 780,000 people a year. 780,000 people a year are killed by MD-directed therapeutics, and we give them a pass. We don't bat an eyelash. Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon, killed by the MDs. Andy Rooney, killed by the MDs. Your brother, your sister, your friends, your family members, somebody in your life, I know, died at the hands of the medical doctors. Now, you know, what the heck? Do I have an axe to grind about the MDs? Well, yeah, I do. There's a reason that I have an axe to grind. They drew first blood. They've gone out of their way for 100 years to convince you that I'm a quack, that all of my colleagues are quacks, that the chiropractors are dangerous, have substandard training, that the homeopaths practice some type of fiction, that Ayurvedic medicine and acupuncture is just nonsense. It's all placebo. Meanwhile, their therapeutics are the leading cause of death. Don't look here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not look here. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. This is the way that it is. You're welcome to your own opinion, but not your own set of facts. 780,000 people a year are killed because they went to see an MD. 700,000 people are killed by heart disease. 550,000 people are killed by cancer, which means your medical doctor is more deadly than cancer. So why continue to go to them? Because they're the only people that you legally can see. They have legislated themselves into first position, legislated themselves into the first place. And we're going to talk to world-famous lawyer, corporate lawyer, world-famous lawyer, Jonathan Emord, about this very phenomenon as soon as we can track him down. That's either going to be this week or next week. Stay tuned. Jonathan Emord, the Dragon Slayer, the man that Dr. Wallach used to sue the Food and Drug Administration, is going to be live right here on FireYourMDNow.com, and you are going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. And as God is my witness, as bad as you think it is here, as much influence and corruption as you think the MDs and the pharmaceutical companies have engendered, it's a million times worse. Ladies and gentlemen, facts are a stubborn thing. Facts are a stubborn thing. And you want to see some facts? Come and join us tonight. Kansas City, baby. Kansas City, Missouri. 7 o'clock tonight, the Clarion Hotel, across from the Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadiums, right across the street, the Clarion Hotel, across from the Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadiums in Kansas City, Missouri. 7 o'clock tonight, the American Health Paradox, brought to you by yours truly, your friendly neighborhood naturopath, your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Back to the phones right now. They're lit up like a Christmas tree. Marlene from Virginia is calling with a question about pollen burst. Hey, Marlene, thanks for the call. You are live.
Why is it that we should only have 2 pollen bursts a day? They're so good, and they're so energizing. That's what's recommended.
Well, who told you? Well, there's a recommend. So here's the deal about that, Marlene, all right? Because Youngevity is a nutritional supplement company that gets their nutritional supplements into the hands of millions of people a year, the same way that, over-the-counter vitamin companies do, like one a day or whatever, there have to be some type of legal qualifiers put on the supplement program, to keep knuckleheads from doing 100 packets a day, right? So as far as I'm concerned, you can do as much of that stuff as you want. However, you should be advised that the main ingredient in the pollen burst, now the pollen burst works for a number of reasons. The pollen burst has lots of vitamins in it. It's got vitamin B. Well, I'll read you the ingredients. Vitamin A, vitamin B1, vitamin B3, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, pantothenic acid, vitamin D3, gluconolactone, caffeine, inositol, and superoxide dismutase. It's superoxide dismutase. But it's also got 75 milligrams of caffeine in it, right? 75 milligrams of caffeine, that's equivalent to about 1.5 cups of coffee. So, you just got to be careful because there's caffeine in it. And if you're good to go, I like to use the pollen burst instead of coffee in the afternoon for a little pick-me-up. And quite frankly, I think the United Kingdom is a gigantic market for pollen burst because, number one, it's got vitamin D3 in it. Everybody in the UK is vitamin D deficient because it's rainy and gloomy and overcast all the time. And when it's rainy and gloomy and overcast, your body doesn't make vitamin D because it gets vitamin D from sun. So if there's a decreased sun exposure, there's decreased vitamin D3, and that's why they have tea time every day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because everybody's running on fumes. I think there's a gigantic market in the United Kingdom for pollen bursts. So, here you go, folks. If you're out there and you've got connections in the UK, bring pollen bursts to the stage. It's going to dramatically transform your pocketbook and dramatically transform the life of everybody in the United Kingdom. You can have as much of that stuff as you want, but be advised there's caffeine in it, and you don't want to overdo it with caffeine. Does that make sense?
It does, and I thank you very much.
All right, thank you for the phone call. I love pollen burst. It's one of the nicest, I think, well-rounded supplements that Youngevity has, and it's also loaded with this stuff called superoxide dismutase, which helps your body eliminate free radicals, helps your body get rid of stuff inside the bloodstream that's causing inflammation and tissue destruction. It's a fantastic supplement. I think perhaps one of the most underutilized nutritional supplements in Youngevity. I think everybody should be taking pollen burst every day. And that's what I have to say about that. Next up is, let me see who's next up. Hold on, I lost my space in the call record here. We have Francis from Houston with a 1-week follow-up. Hey, Francis, how's your achy, breaky heart? How's it going, Francis?
Well, my achy, breaky heart is feeling better, thanks to you.
Woohoo, fantastic. So I must have been on to something.
When I called in last week, I had 3 concerns. We thought I had another heart attack. I had a blood sugar issue, and I had pain in my left neck and shoulder, and I'd like to report on all 3.
Okay, I'm sitting down.
All right. Well, you said that it was the only logical possibility that was going on because of my chest pains, in light of the fact that the EKG, the echocardiogram, the carotid exam, the stress test showed no signs of a heart attack, was that I was experiencing some indigestion problems.
Correct.
Okay, which often mimic heart attacks.
Correct.
And you told me to increase my digestive enzymes.
I did.
I was taking 2, 2, and 2. You told me to increase it by 1. Well, do you know that my chest does not hurt nearly as much?
How much better? Is it 10%, 80%? How much better, Francis? Give me a number.
I would say probably at least 50%.
Very, very good. 50%, and that's in what, 7 days?
In 7 days.
I gotta love 50% in 7 days. You know what that means? 100% in 14 days, right?
I don't walk around thinking about my chest hurting all day long now.
Excellent.
So I feel much better about that. So thank you so much, Dr. Glidden. Now, my blood sugar was high, and my A1C was 7.1, which you said wasn't a problem. You told me to increase my sweeties by 1. Instead of 3, take 4, 4, and 4.
Right.
I did that also. And I monitor myself, and I track my blood sugar every day. And in 1 week, it has the points have gone. It has gone down. Well, I do it by the average of the week. And week before last, it was 127.
Okay.
And last week, the average was 118.
I love my job. Very, very, very good. Anything else?
Good about that. Thank you. The next thing, the pain in my left shoulder, and that goes all the way down my left arm, it's still hurting. A recommendation was made for me to get an MRI of my cervical spine. So the insurance denied it, but it's being appealed right now. However, I went back. They said that there was not indication that it was necessary for my health and well-being or something crazy. So anyway, that's being appealed. But anyway, I went to the chiropractor, as you suggested, and he massaged the area and said like that it felt like gravel was in my shoulder.
That's interesting.
And he also recommended, I didn't even tell him what you had said. He also recommended a cervical spine MRI.
Well,
so I'm trying to get that. But the chiropractor did massage my shoulder and my neck, and he gave me a couple of exercises every day.
Francis, you are an inspiration to everybody. We're up against a hard break here. Stick around, Francis. I'm going to dial this in better for you when we come back. I'm going to tell you something, folks. Dr. Peter Glidden here. We're giving a lecture tonight at the Clarion Hotel in Kansas City, Missouri. It's right across from the Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadiums right here in Kansas City. 7 o'clock tonight. It's free. They're always free all the time. I was giving this same lecture a couple weeks ago in Boston, Massachusetts, my old stomping ground. And there was a distributor there, a longevity distributor, who used to be the manager of 4 General Nutrition Centers in Boston. And he was such a good manager that one of his stores in Boston was the second most profitable General Nutrition Center in the world. The second most profitable General Nutrition Center in the world, GNC, right? He was a GNC manager for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I forget. It was a long time. Andy was a hockey player, loved hockey. And his knees were so bad that he couldn't play hockey anymore, and he was taking all of this stuff from GNC all the time, and it didn't work. I mean, he was the manager of the store. You think he got a good price? Got a good deal on the price? Money was not an obstacle for this guy, nor was access to as many nutritional supplements as he wanted. And he did all of the stuff that they had, and nothing worked. He goes on longevity. 9 months later, he's playing hockey like he's in his 20s again. The knee condition is completely gone, completely recovered from his arthritic knees. Why does this happen? Because with nutritional supplements, just like with chicken soup, the recipe is everything. My mother's chicken soup was awesome. My grandmother's, quite frankly, was better. And a lot better, either of them, than, the stuff in the can at the supermarket. Well, what's the difference? The recipe's the difference. Longevity's recipes are generated from $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries and histopathologies, and over 30 years of clinical work by the most lauded naturopathic physician, Dr. Joel Wallach, in history. Now, if your child wanted to learn how to play hockey and you had the choice of getting them coached for the same price by Wayne Gretzky or by your high school hockey coach, who are you going to choose? You're going to go with Gretzky because he's the king, right? There's nobody going to play hockey as good as Gretzky ever again. Well, maybe 100 years in the future, who knows? But Gretzky is pretty darn good, wouldn't you say? Well, Dr. Wallach is the Wayne Gretzky of holistic medicine. Nobody has Dr. Wallach's knowledge base. Nobody has Dr. Wallach's recipes, and that's why Longevity Therapeutics produce remarkable results, way more consistent results, better results than anything that I've seen. And in 24 years of clinical work, that's why Longevity thrives in this economic climate, because the therapeutics work. Quite frankly, if you're not doing Longevity's nutritional supplements, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. You're wasting your money, which is more, valuable. I don't know which is more valuable, time or money. They're neck and neck. But you got to do the right stuff. You do the right stuff, you get results just like Francis. So, Francis, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, now, I'm assuming, of course, Francis, that you're salting your food appropriately, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. So, the only other thing that I would do here as an experiment is when you have a big meal, I would add one more digestive enzyme to the meal. One more digestive enzyme at the beginning of the meal. One more digestive enzyme at the beginning of the meal, okay? That's going to just help to facilitate digestion, because there's a weakness here in your digestive tract, and we're trying to jumpstart that weakness by giving you some digestive enzymes in big amounts for 2, 3, 4 weeks, okay? So this digestive enzyme therapeutic is not going to be forever. It's going to be for a couple more weeks, probably maybe even all the way through March, or at least through the middle of March. But I want you to really overdo it with digestive enzymes, number one. And number two, to the part of the shoulder that chiropractor felt like there was gravel in there, or the massage therapist felt like there was gravel in there, I want you to apply, either if you can reach it yourself, or if you can't get your daughter or somebody else to do it, get the CM cream, and apply it topically to the part of your shoulder where they felt like there was gravel in there. And that gravel can be caused by a number of things, but most probably it's caused by tension in the muscles, which causes, inflammation and adhesions in the muscle groups, and there's all kinds of funky things that can happen back there. If you apply the CM cream topically, it's going to go a long way towards helping that to come around, and upping the ante with the digestive enzymes at the beginning of the meal is going to really, from my way of looking at things, Francis, it's really going to help this to kind of continue in a positive direction faster. And really, Francis, the only thing that's necessary for you from now on, once we finally got it figured out, hallelujah, more time. Time is your best friend now, Francis. Thank you for your faith. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for taking a ride on the Longevity train. The best is yet to come. Hey, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here. Welcome back. We are well into the second hour of Fire Your MD Now. That's Fire Your MD Now. Check it out, fireyourmdnow.com. All kinds of information on this website. There's all kinds of stuff that we give away. I've got Fire Your MD Now t-shirts now. How about that? They're available. Fire Your MD Now t-shirts. I've got Fire Your MD Now bumper stickers. I've got Fire Your MD Now baby diapers, for goodness sake. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We are spreading this message. We might as well have fun while we're at it. Sign up for my free newsletter right there on the front page of fireyourmdnow.com. Sign up for my online health recovery tutorials. It's $17 a month, $170 a year. Cancel at any time. It'll be one of the best $17 you ever spent. I have live webinars, live chat rooms, archived webinars, archived health recovery stuff, questions and answer room. We've got it going on, ladies and gentlemen, because like the fella said, you don't know what you don't know. And I took an oath in 1991 as a naturopathic physician to educate people. If you look up the root word of doctor, it's docere in Latin, and that translates to teacher. I take my teaching capacity, my teaching commitment very seriously. Knowledge is, in fact, power. And with just a little bit of knowledge, with just a little bit of course correction at this point in your life, you can end up in a completely different health place 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. And this is what we're all about. An ounce of prevention in this regard is worth 100 tons of cure. So change your diet. Get on board with the 90 essential nutrients. Figure it out, because it's easy. We're here to hold your hand. We're here to help you. We are here, in fact, to drag you into the light. of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Let's go right back to the phones. Roger from my old stomping ground, Chicago, is calling with a question, I think, about something going on in his transverse colon. Thanks for calling, Roger. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. This is Roger Kennedy. Sorry I've been out of touch for a while, but I'm back, and I'll be staying in touch with my longevity family.
I'm looking forward to it, Roger. Good to hear from you, man.
Yeah, I'm good to hear from you, or hear your voice. My question is for my neighbor who's been suffering with transverse myelitis.
I think it's colitis, Roger. Myelitis, transverse myelitis, I've never heard of. It's got to be colitis, right?
That's what my neighbor said, myelitis. What the condition is, the nerves in her legs, she can't feel her legs. And for a while she couldn't walk. She's been getting treated by MD doctors. You know that's a problem. So she's having a slow recovery. She's able to walk with a walker. The neighbor said it's a problem in her lower back, and then it stretches down into her legs where she can't feel her legs. And he said it had to do with the myelin.
Yeah. So this is called, the correct terminology here is transverse myelitis.
Myelitis, okay.
Myelitis, yeah. Now, this is a neurological disorder caused by an inflammation in a particular part of the spinal cord. It's an inflammation in a particular part of the spinal cord.
Okay, yeah, he said it started in her with problems in her lower back, so that would make sense.
Yeah, now, this is not the easiest thing in the world to diagnose, right? It's not the easiest thing in the world to diagnose. Just because the MDs say it's one thing doesn't necessarily mean that it's that thing, because they get stuff wrong all of the time, right? But let's just give them a bone here. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they actually did get it right for once. So this is an inflammatory condition of the central nervous system, and what we do for any inflammatory condition is, number one, eliminate the 10 bad foods. She has to stop eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats, oil in a bottle, fried food, well-done red meat, meat that has nitrates added as preservatives, the skins of baked potatoes, yams, and sweet potatoes, and no carbonated drinks with a meal. You know that rundown. She has to stop eating the 10 bad foods, number one. Number two, she has to take nutritional supplements into her body. They're going to help her body put out the fires of inflammation. And the category of supplements that does that are, of course, the antioxidants. Antioxidants are measured by their ORAC value, and in order to, interface with, support and promote the health of her body in the face of a diagnosis of this nature, the recommendation would be somewhere between 50,000 and 100,000 ORAC points of antioxidants a day. 50 to 100,000 points of antioxidants a day. One capsule of Cell Shield RTQ has 8,000 ORAC points. One piece of Triple Treat chocolate has 18,000 ORAC points. 2 scoops of Beyond Tangy Tangerine have about 6,000 ORAC points. And, of course, to the nutritional supplements, she can add green tea, blueberries, dark-skinned fruits, curry powder, walnuts, cinnamon, all kinds of food, red wine, right? Switch from coffee to green tea. It increases her ORAC value. Whatever she can do to get her ORAC value of antioxidants on a daily basis up above 50,000 would be beneficial for her in this regard. Now, perhaps as a fundamental baseline here, what I would like to see her do is 1 anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, 1 anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And in order to, again, help with the inflammatory condition here, because it's affecting the central nervous system, Longevity has a product called CM capsules. CM capsules, that's the CM cream except in a capsulated form. CM stands for acetylmerylstolate. Acetylmerylstolate, it's an extract of fish oil which has clinically verified anti-inflammatory action. So I would recommend for 2 months she take 9 of the CM capsules a day. 9 of the CM capsules a day, 3 with breakfast, 3 with lunch, and 3 with dinner. Now, once we've got the nutritional supplements dialed in and the diet dialed in, the next thing to do is give her central nervous system food. And guess what? The nerves are made from, well, you know it better than anybody, cholesterol. So anybody that's dealing with central nervous system affection would be benefited, from our point of view, from eating a food that's really high in cholesterol. And I mean 80% of her diet should be beneficial fats. So I want to see her eating eggs, and then more eggs. And then I want her to put butter and salt on the egg. And then I want her to get chicken skin, throw the chicken away, eat the skin. Well, she can eat the chicken too. Full-fat milk, full-fat yogurt, cholesterol, and then top it off with whipped cream, butter, and salt. And that's good. The least expensive, most economical, perhaps easiest, most efficient way to increase cholesterol consumption into the human body, to import cholesterol into the human body, is the simple chicken egg. The yolk of the egg is loaded with cholesterol, and the only time that gets degraded is if you cook it too much. So if you hard-boil an egg and the yolk turns green or gets a green ring around it, then the cholesterol has been degraded, which is why when people eat eggs, we recommend they eat them soft-boiled, soft-scrambled in butter, or poached. And if you eat them poached or soft-boiled, add butter and salt. So the recommendation here, Roger, is 50 to 100,000 ORAC points a day. Then I think the baseline best way to do that to start out would be one anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per day. 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium per month. 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium per month. Elimination of the 10 bad foods and consumption of food that's high in cholesterol. And the icing on the cake in this regard would be the CM capsules. So try that on for size, see what happens. And once we get on board with the correct program here, and the diet's been cleaned up and people are taking the nutritional supplements, within 21 days, 3 weeks, within 21 days, there should be a noticeable, measurable, positive change. Something should brighten up. Something should improve in a noticeable, measurable way within 21 days. And once you've secured a little bit of improvement, it's only a matter of time until the rest of it rolls all the way in. Roger, so good to hear from you again. I look forward to hearing more from you, buddy. Thanks so much for the phone call. Up next is Abby, our friend Abby, who's burning it up down in Miami. Welcome back, Abby. What's the latest?
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Again, I have 2 questions. Actually, one is a follow-up with my daughter and the milk issue, and another one is a friend. Is a lady, 140 pounds. And she has having some hair loss, she's losing hair, and she's having a like a pain in the scalp. She says it feels when she touches the scalp like if it was burning. When someone goes to the beach for a long time and then a couple days later.
Yeah, it feels like that, right? Yeah. So the first thing to consider there, Abby, whenever anybody's hair starts to fall out, is either that's a symptom of chronic nutrient deficiencies, and the body is so nutrient deficient that it's robbing nutrients from non-essential tissue like hair and fingernails in order to keep the heart and the kidneys and the lungs and everything else happy, right? So that is either caused by chronic across-the-board nutrient deficiencies or an underactive thyroid, which is also a nutrient deficiency illness. So if this woman is cold, if she's colder than everybody else, especially with cold hands and feet, or if her hair, in addition to falling out, is dry and brittle, and or if she gains more weight than she thinks she should be gaining, considering how many calories she eats, then the problem is probably a thyroid condition, and I would recommend that she get some blood work done. She can order this blood work herself by going online, and there's a little website on the back of the Longevity Pharmacy card where people can order their own blood work. You don't even have to go to the MD. How about that? The blood work that she should get to look to see how healthy her thyroid is free. That's F-R-E-E, like Free Willy, Free T3 and Free T4. Free T3 and Free T4. The combination of those 2 tests will cost maybe around $100. Or she could just act as if it's a thyroid problem for 90 days and give her body thyroid support for 90 days, because that's no harm and no foul in doing that anyway. So to support and promote the health of the thyroid gland, the recommendation is 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, 1 bottle of Ocean's Gold per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and a diet that has, in addition to eliminating the 10 bad foods, she also needs to stop eating cauliflower, broccoli, eggplant, and Brussels sprouts. No more cauliflower, no more broccoli, no more eggplant, and no more Brussels sprouts. Again, make sure that she's salting her food to taste. I would dial that program in for 90 days and see what happens. I bet you that's going to go a long way towards helping to round out all of these symptoms and eliminate most of the problem. Now, what's going on with your daughter?
She's been out of the milk for about 2 weeks now, and we discovered and we learned that the milk was no good for her at all. She, her poops improved so much that we never saw this in her. I mean, she was always having one problem, either, like I mentioned before, she was either having, like diarrhea, kind of very soft, or constipated. And now she improved. However, we need to work on the immune system, and that's why I'm calling.
All right, hang on, buddy. We're up against the hard break. I'll dial that in for you when we come back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. You know what they say, ladies and gentlemen, dynamite comes in small packages. And we've got the Miami Dynamite on the line with us now. Abby, working it up, doing it to it down there in Miami, growing a gigantic longevity business just by telling people the truth about science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. All right, Abby, real quick now, what is it that you need help with your daughter with?
Well, now that we know the milk is no good for her, I think probably she was not absorbing very well the nutrients I was giving her. So let's do something for her immune system, because she's, you know, a cold lasts like a month or more for her. She's always having a lot of fluids, and we know most of the time sick.
All right. I'm getting some background noise and some static, Abby, so I'm going to answer this question off the air. Keep up the good work down there, and thank you so much for the call. So whenever we're trying to support and promote the health of anybody's immune system, we give the Healthy Start Pack, appropriate for body weight, selenium, appropriate for body weight, clean up the diet, 100%, and the secret sauce here would be the Killer Biotic. In order to support and promote the health of the immune system in a generalized way for, 2 or 3 months, and somebody that's had chronic head colds and just gets sick every time the wind blows, my recommendation would be 1 capsule of Killer Biotic 3 times a day per 100 pounds of body weight per month. 1 capsule of Killer Biotic 3 times a day per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And get the colloidal silver. Go to CVS or somewhere and get a nasal spray bottle. Get a nasal spray bottle, one that opens up and you can actually take the contents out, dump it out, and put the colloidal silver in the nasal spray bottle and do 3 sprays of colloidal silver to each nostril 3-4 times a day. 3 sprays of the colloidal silver to each nostril 3 or 4 times a day, plus the Killer Biotic, plus the Healthy Start Pack, plus the elimination of the 10 bad foods is a very good place to start. Last but not least, from Texas, Houston, Texas, I think we have Nadil. And I don't know what the question's about here, but thanks for waiting, Nadil. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Right now, I'm conflicted if I should continue my studies. I just started this telemetry program about 3 weeks ago. And originally, I wanted to go into the medical field, but I have listened to Alex Jones where he talks about how the flu shots are not good.
Correct.
So I was like, okay, I'll go into telemetry and I won't have to get a flu shot.
Right.
I can work it somewhere else. And last week I saw you on the show where you talked about the doctors giving drug treatment.
Right.
So now I'm reconsidering it altogether.
Well, this is an interesting thing to talk about because it's like they say, how do you make God laugh? Well, tell him your future plans, right? So and this is what happened to me in my career. I was going down one path, and then I took a left-hand turn, and 3 months later I was a naturopath, and who knew? So I would listen to your heart. I would pray about it. I would do whatever it is that you need to connect to whatever your sense of spirituality and life path is, because there's an answer here for you. And if you're questioning, if you're having doubts, then that speaks to me that the game is afoot and that your mind is opening up and that there's something here for you. Life is perhaps calling you in a different direction. And listen, I have to tell you, from a pure dollars and cents point of view and from a pure social change point of view, the best possible thing that anybody can do in order to move society along to a higher plane of consciousness and to move your pocketbook along to a higher plane of liquidity is to become a longevity distributor. Join us as longevity. Check it out just for 6 months. What do you got to lose? You can always go back to school, for goodness sake. You can always do whatever it is you're going to do. Join our merry band of men and women. Guess what? It costs $10 to become an initial longevity member. $10 plus, you know, some little elbow grease. And 3-4 months from now, you'll know whether this is the way or not, but you're never going to know unless you give it a try. What do you got to lose? $10? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for the call, Nadeal, by the way. Listen to your heart and follow your life's path. It's there for you somewhere. I know you can find it. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to visit me tonight in Kansas City, Missouri, the Clarion Hotel, 7 o'clock, across from Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium. I'll see you there, and I'll see you here tomorrow.